Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today to discuss the importance of sustainability strategies and why they need to be driven by the executive level. Our webinar today is based on research in which we surveyed over 500 executives worldwide. It was conducted in 2023 by Harvard Business Review Analytics Services and by PMI Brightline. To put this in context, I guess we can all agree that the world is at a crossroads. There are very challenging problems that need to be addressed if we want humanity to live together more harmoniously or even survive. Think of climate change, of course, and depletion of resources, but also technological advancement and their ethical implications. Think of global health and demographic issues, of economic inequality and poverty, all of which contribute to division and polarization between nations and within societies. Now, just a few words about PMI, the Project Management Institute. In a nutshell, we upskill and reskill people managing projects, project professionals. So they improve continuously, so they get more effective at delivering projects, at driving change, and at leading transformations. So in other words, at getting things done. So when we help project professionals make each of their projects successful in a way that is also responsible and meaningful, we can contribute together to addressing some of the big issues that humanity is facing, one successful and responsible project at a time. And in the end, make our world better. PMI is a for-purpose corporation, and that is exactly our purpose, elevating our world by maximizing project success. Now, within PMI, Brightline is a specific initiative. It is a team that partners with both leading companies and educational institutions. Its mission is to help executives bridge the gap between strategy and execution. Because, of course, even the best strategic plans are only impactful if they are successfully executed. So I would like to thank the PMI Brightline team, the other PMI teams involved, the PMI Thought Leadership team, our marketing teams, all of which contributed to the success of this report and initiated its creation in the first place. But now, let's talk about the report and a few of the insights that it uncovered. Executive leaders at most organizations around the world would agree that the path to a thriving future lies not just in digital transformations or even initiatives that aim at achieving greater customer satisfaction, for instance, although they are, of course, extremely important. But the path to a thriving future requires more. It requires equally a strong sustainability strategy that is positioned at the center of everything the organization does. Of course, creating and implementing a sustainability strategy is not an easy journey. So today, I would like to focus on three main findings from the research, which I believe can inform a successful approach to sustainability. First, as you will see in the data provided by this research, all stakeholders, including customers, investors, and employees, are prioritizing organizations that demonstrate a genuine commitment to environmental and social responsibility. Organizations that proactively and genuinely embrace sustainability build resilience. They attract top talent. They ensure their long-term growth and survival. Now, on the other hand, organizations that do not genuinely embrace sustainability are more vulnerable to disruptions, to regulatory pressure, or to reputational damage. The next point that I would like to mention is that only when sustainability becomes a core tenet of your overall strategy can it truly permeate your organization. So when the CEO sets sustainability as the strategic guiding star, you begin to see every action within the organization aligning with the overall sustainability goals. So this clear strategic direction from the top is the key to ensuring consistent and continual progress as all stakeholders embrace social responsibility goals. Now, embracing sustainability creates value for the organization from an external perspective, but it also unlocks a culture of innovation internally. As people rethink processes, business models, sourcing strategies, they unlock creativity. And I am personally a great believer in that constraints do not hamper, but foster creativity. And we see many examples of this, for example, in cleaner energy solutions or in redesigned and more efficient supply chains that show how sustainable practices can truly become a springboard for creating competitive advantage. Now, another reason why sustainability must be driven by the executive level is, of course, because it requires significant investments and a reallocation of resources, a reallocation of both talent and capital. So without the full commitment of the CEO and also of their board, it is difficult or even impossible for an executive team or for other leaders to make the changes that are necessary. And it is not just at the executive level that the impact from the CEO's commitment will be felt. When employees see a genuine commitment to sustainability from the top, it fosters a sense of purpose and belonging. Employees feel empowered to contribute because they feel a stronger personal bond with the higher purpose of the organization. And they know that their efforts and ideas will be valued over the long term, which drives increased engagement and higher productivity. And of course, it also makes the job of the talent acquisition team much easier, especially if you think of the younger generations of talents. And finally, my third learning from the report is not a big surprise at all, but it deserves, I think, to be mentioned over and over again. As your organization is making progress toward its goals, it is very important to communicate and celebrate success. When CEOs show personal and genuine commitment, when they set ambitious but realistic goals, and then regularly report progress on these goals, their transparency and their personal accountability build trust. So if I may summarize, a genuine commitment to sustainability reflected in the purpose of your organization and supported by the personal engagement of the CEO, and a very concrete reallocation of resources, together with transparency and constant celebration of progress, are the keys to bridge sustainability strategies to execution and to ensuring long-term success.